So Apex Legends Rostermania continues on, and some more confirmations are going on inside of the scenes. It's constantly changing every single day between Pro League teams, who's in, who's out, roster changes this, roster changes that. It changes the storyline because we also saw Meat Lovers looking like they were going into Pro League just a couple of days ago, weeks ago at this point. Then obviously rule changes come into effect, teams make roster updates, and it changes the way all of this stuff could be done. So let's talk about what's going on, especially with some of the results we got last night. I think you guys are going to be very excited about the super teams and how they're doing, and then even TSM's new direction here. So firstly, Space Station has now officially parted ways with Frex. Of course, we already saw that SSG looks to have been putting a lot of effort, a lot of investment inside Koiful, and we kind of knew that that was the direction they were going to go. Frex was kind of like trialing in his other teams that he was trying to play with as well. But yeah, it is kind of official now. This was coming out from that Battlefy transactions page that they have. But then you also have Koiful getting added to that roster as well. So of course we saw the trials and that was all fine and dandy, but this was a little bit more official when you actually see it on the Battlefy transactions page. They finally removed Slayer from LG today, and Koiful was added into SSG. So this no longer seems like a trial. It definitely seems set in stone. They are going to be going with Koiful for the next split of the ALGS. Also, I thought this was a pretty big announcement and very excited. If you guys watch the Challenger Circuit scene, you know Vosky very well. He is going to be actually Furia's substitute player. What a big opportunity for him, and for someone that is very invested into the Apex esports scene. This should be a good thing for all of you guys. This is something that you want to see. It's the new guy, the underdog, finally getting his chance. And honestly, if Vosky ever did have to step in for any reason, I do like Vosky playing with Furia. I do think that he's a very good controller player, and I think things could click very well. But this was basically the storyline on this ALGS Battlefy transactions page. So all regions are considered in this, and of course we saw the Pulverex official removal. We knew that was coming because before you I guess freak out or anything, Pulverex, there's a couple of things you'll notice here is that some of these team names are being changed, and then some of these teams are rejoining teams that have old team names that may confuse you quite a bit. So of course we already saw that Lavetti was going to be going to Riddle, so no big surprise there that this was going to be removed. However, the Pulverex name will be changed eventually anyways. Then we also saw Fussy from Boogie Borders inside of APAC South, another very talented roster. I'm surprised they didn't do better than what they did at Split 1 playoffs, but he also was removed from the Boogie Borders. Slayer, of course, removed from LG. Then we also had Koiful added to SSG. Then I think a lot of people were drawing attention to this one. So this was Duplex and Osivian joining Sentinels. Now, someone had sent this to me, and I still appreciate it, but I realized at first I was like, oh my gosh, Sentinels is still going to be involved. They're going to join Sentinels. Maybe that is possibly the case, but it doesn't necessarily mean for sure. Sentinels is just the spot that was held with Zer0 and Osivian, and so Duplex would be joining that, and so getting back involved in all of this. It doesn't necessarily mean that Sentinels is going to be confirmed coming back or more involved in the ALGS. Who really knows what their plans are, but it does mean that the team that was Sentinels, that holds the Pro League spot, that Sentinels ID behind this that exists, that's what they joined, not necessarily Sentinels as an organization. So time will tell, obviously, what this exactly means. A lot of people were drawing from that, though, and I am interested to see what the conclusion is at the end of the day. But also wanted to mention some of the scrim results. Now, there are a lot of storylines to follow into this one. So firstly, I think you have a safe bet here that the top 5 are really your super teams for a lot of people here. So are the teams that we all thought that should be top 5 got top 5, and this is a good sight to see. So Dark0 wins the first block of scrims. No surprise, they're the super team. They should be doing this, right? So good on them. And even I said, now that's a hot top 3 because you've got Dark0, LG with Sweet and Funk and Sykes, and then TSM as well with Verhulst and Zapto and Rep. So I love this top 3. I just love seeing TSM back involved in this. And we actually saw in yesterday's video, right, Hal said that Verhulst is going to have some time before he gets to be a good IGL. It's not going to happen overnight. I don't know if they're going to make land, right? Furia in 4th place, SKD Mark in 5th place. This is the team that Raven has been playing with or as a coach, and I'm very excited for Skid Mark. I think they're going to be a very talented roster. Drop Shuby and knocked on a same team is not only good in itself, but Coach Raven to add to that, honestly, I just think it's so much potential with where these guys can go. Then also inside of the second block, you see some more good teams, and this time it's TSM winning the Scrims set, not just the top 3, but winning. So back-to-back days today, you've got Verhulst trying to IGL. They get 3rd place, they get 1st place. Very big ups here to TSM, and I'm very proud of this roster and how far they've seemingly come. So hopefully this continues on. I hope this is not just a one-off. I really hope you can put your stock and investments into them, and things will get better. GG inside of 2nd place. Very, surprising, I think, for a lot of people. There was a tie actually here for 1st, but it goes to TSM due to the tiebreaker rules. Zer0 only 1 point off from winning again, by the way. So Zer0 top 3 back-to-back, TSM top 3 back-to-back. Zer0 wins 1, gets 3rd. TSM wins 1 and gets 3rd as well. But I think it's safe to say Zer0's performance was still slightly more I wouldn't say impressive. TSM probably had a little bit to prove here, so maybe TSM's was more impressive, but Zer0's was definitely more dominant, I would say. Only 1 point off from winning again. The gap here is a lot closer, so you just can't deny. Look, at the end of the day, do I think that this super team is worth the dollar amount that they're probably proposing? No. Do I think that they are the best team in the world? Yes. So we'll see how it all goes at the end of the day. Elevate also in the top 5. Didn't have as good of a set the first go around, but then also Skidmark still hanging up there in the top 7. They also got 3rd place yesterday. I think it's good for them, and I'm very excited to see where this team goes moving on into the future. So also, many people saw this and had to give credit where credit was due with Verhulst doing some crazy things. So not only do you see Verhulst turning on literal aimbot in a clip you're about to see in a couple of minutes, but then also knocking 2 guys with 1 mag, 1v3ing a team. I mean, Verhulst is literally on his next level grind. And honestly, I think he's on his revenge tour. Roll the clip.
For it.
I'm gonna look for it. Look, just look up top. There's a guy on top.
Right side. One to the right, one to the right. Dead.
Oh my god! Holy
I'm sticking res.
Yeah.
That was fucking good.
Great fucking job. Hold this shit down.
Hold in. Right, yeah. I'm calling this side, guy side. Dead side. What's that cat? Oh my, one more. Bat in. Follow you, Jordan.
I'm blocking him.
It's a 1v1.
He's right here, flying through.
He's trying to third. He's playing a knock. I have a knock for you. Purple knock. He's healing.
Oh my god. I'll go knock.
Res.
Oh my god.
You are fucking
I didn't know there's
insane.
an 8 up there, bro.
So yesterday you also saw us talk about Imperial How giving his opinion on Verhulst as an IGL, and will it actually work out? Of course, we saw really good results from them today. Can they keep it up? That is a question to be determined. Hopefully they can. But then we had also How coming out to talk about how he's impressed with Zer0 being his IGL. I think a lot of people are still confused why How would want to go from being the best IGL in the game, arguably, to now being under the other arguable best IGL in the game. Well, I think there's a lot of respect here, a lot of mutual respect. I had to troll quite a bit in the comments saying that How went from alpha to beta, and of course so many How fans got so mad. But at the end of the day, I think it's a respectable move, right? It takes a lot of guts to say that this guy was better than you, that you admire and respect his game a lot more, and so you want to be under that. So I think this is a very interesting conversation. Zer0 really seems to be clicking a lot, and having that mutual respect for one another and being able to admit things like this goes a long way when it comes to a team dynamic and how close these guys are outside of just the gaming environment. Roll the clip.
Anything you wish you could improve as you guys move towards competition? Nothing really. I don't know. I love the new team. Like, we've only been playing for like a couple of days. Like, this is like the first time I'm pretty sure like I've ever played with Zer0. Like, we probably played once before we teamed up together a while ago, but I don't know. Like, we're already gelling really well, like as a team, and it's just, I don't know. Like, we just don't lose fights. Like, we just don't lose a fight. Like, the only way we die is if the whole fucking, like, you know, we're dying on rotate or something like that. Like everything I expected as this team is what's like reality. So there's nothing bad to say. I'm happy about it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What are my expectations for the new team coming to Splatoon ESWC? We should win every single thing. That is the expectation. We have like the 3 best players in their fucking roles in the entire world. We should win everything. The thing is, when you play with Zer0, like the way Zer0 plays, he plays like it's ranked. Like his ALGS games are like ranked. I'm going to run at you, and I'm going to kill you every single time. The way Zer0 plays is like, we're going to kill you or 3v3 you and beat you every time. Like, we don't care who's in front of you. If I have to fight you, we're going to beat you and then just walk in. Like, that's like his confidence. It's like, it doesn't matter where the fuck we're at, where we're going. We are the best fighting team in the lobby, and we're not gonna just evac and go around you. We're gonna just kill you and fucking take your spot. And like, if he doesn't have 2 players that can obviously back that up, then you can't be like successful, right? Because he relies on his 3v3s to IGL majority of the time. Obviously, like, that should be a thing for every team. You can't win without having a really strong 3v3 team. You just can't. If you can't fight, then you're just gonna fucking lose, right? So, like, his fucking 3v3 confidence or his IGLing is just like the biggest difference between like what TSM was and his team.
Also wanted to mention, going on inside the EMEA scene, you had this update coming from Tryhard Thor that they also made it into the Pro League, and now the world is healing. Now also the youngest Pro League player, and also mouse and keyboard. So I think he's taken this title from Vatari inside of the North American scene. Also wanted to make mention, time is running out for the Esports World Cup. Register your team for the qualifiers in 2024 now. So APAC South is going to be ending May the 25th. North America ends May the 25th. APAC North ends on the 26th, along with the EMEA and South American regions as well. So make sure to go sign up if you guys have any anticipation to do so. And of course, we'll be following how a lot of these pro teams do inside of these if they have not already auto-qualified. Some really good teams going through the open bracket, and cannot wait to watch all of this content. So like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of Apex Legends esports. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.